Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm trying something different this morning, so I'm hoping that you guys are on Facebook. I didn't go, so I typically go live within the group, but I went live on the main page and shared it with the group. So y'all got to let me know if y'all here. Try something new this morning, try something new. So hopefully you guys we're still coming in the right way and everybody can find us, okay? Here we are, day 17. Come on in. I don't see nothing yet. So let me know if y'all can hear me. If y'all can see me. I mean, if y'all can hear me, I know y'all can see me because I can see myself. Let's go. If you're in the comments, y'all, this is a good one today. Oh, it's a good one today. I was going over my notes this morning. I said, oh, this is a good one today. This is a good one today. I'm excited. All right, good morning, y'all. Good morning. Okay, I see a few people coming on. Let me see if I can see some comments this morning. Let me know. Oh, good. Okay. Hey, Jalissa. Hey, Faith. Good morning. Good morning. All right, y'all. Here we go. Here we go. Put your seatbelts on. Put your seatbelts on. We are in for a ride this morning. We are on day 17 and we are detoxing from offense this morning. Look, I'm all trying to get close to y'all. I'm like in the door and laptop. Excuse me, y'all. Trying to pull myself together. I feel like something trying to sneak up on me, but we're gonna push through. All right. Okay. Good. 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 All right. I see thumbs up from Jalissa, from Faith. All right. I see some people logging on through YouTube. Okay. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It is day 17 of our 21 day. Oh, y'all, we coming to an end. We are coming to an end. And today we are detoxing from offense. Ooh. This is gonna be one of the ones we got to talk back to each other. We got to. I need y'all. Get your fingers ready. However you type in, whether it's in a laptop or a phone. Good morning, Evita. I miss you, Evita. I feel like I ain't seen you in a while. Okay. I know. Let me back up. Like I'm just like I'm trying to get in there. In there. Okay. Anyway. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. So day 17. We are coming to the end of our distraction detox, and we have been identifying the distractions that keep us bound, right? This is a season of divine focus. This is our season of freedom. This is our season of walking out the plan and purpose that we believe that God has called for our life. And not only have we been identifying the distractions that try to keep us bound, we identify them, we release them, and now we are taking the intentional steps to move forward. Come on. We've identified the distractions, we have released them, and now we are taking the necessary steps, the intentional steps, okay, to remove them from our lives. So now that we are so close to the end, you know what I was telling you before, when you detox, things get ugly before they get better. And by ugly, I mean you have to do the hard work. You have to look inward because it's not always the external world that keeps us bound. Sometimes it's our own self, our own thinking, our own stinking thinking, our own behaviors, our own perspectives and mindsets that keep us in a place that keep us bound. Okay. It is the relationships that we accept and the things that we put up with. So today, we are going to detox from one of the number one things. I don't even just want to say as women, even though I do feel like women, we deal with this a lot. But one of the number one distractions that keep you bound. Ta-da! It's right there on the screen. Offense. Let's start our day with a deep breath. Come on, come on, come on. Let's start our day with a deep breath and let's begin. Because I feel like this lighting is crazy. All right. So here we go. I want us to talk about something Remember, I told y'all that many of us are carrying. Good morning. Good morning, Siani. I wanted us to talk about something that a lot of us women that we carry, but we don't confront. A lot of us carry this offense and we don't confront it. So many people walk around harboring feelings that only they know about. And you'll be surprised. We've all probably been there, all probably done that, harboring something with another individual that they probably don't even know. And let's tell the truth. Let's tell the truth. Some of the heaviness that we feel is actually not even from what happened. It's from what we're still holding on to. We're going to ease on in it. We're going to ease in because I already feel it being heavy. And I already feel like y'all not about to talk back to me. And I don't like that. I don't like that. We got to, come on. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. We trying to make it through the week. Come on. I know it's heavy, but we got to deal with this offense that is trying to run rampant in our lives, okay? So let me say that again. We're going to talk about it because many of us as women, we carry it, but we rarely confront it. We carry offense, but we don't confront it. So then we're walking around holding on to something and people don't even realize what they did. And let's tell the truth. Some of the heaviness that is caused by offense is not heaviness that you feel from what happened. It's from still holding on to it. Yeah. Oh, see, yes, we're going deep this morning. We're going deep because it's day 17 and we almost at the end of this detox. And I feel like the toxins of distraction, they still in there. The toxins of distraction are still in there and we got to pull them out. Good morning, Ashley. We going deep, y'all. So come on, let's go. So some of the heaviness that we feel is not actually from something that happened to us. It's from what we're still holding on to. It could be a comment or something somebody says that hurt you. It could be the betrayal that you feel like you did not deserve. It could be the friend who just disappeared on you. It could be the family member who misunderstood you. It could be even like a moment where you felt overlooked, a moment where you felt dismissed, a moment when you felt dishonored. Come on in. I see y'all coming in. Come in and stay in. Come in and stay in because it's a good one this morning. Good morning, Shawana. So again, we're holding on to this thing. And instead of processing it, we're carrying it. Instead of processing what you felt, you hold on to it. You carry it. And we know what happens when you carry something that you were never meant to carry. That thing becomes a weight. And then this is why the Hebrew writer got to remind us to lay aside every sin and the weight, because we wind up carrying things that we were never meant to carry. Because offense is hurt that never found healing. This is why we say some of us are walking around unhealed, because we're carrying things that we were been supposed to release. Let that sink in while I check this comment. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Because I already feel y'all about to sit on me. I already feel it. I ain't playing with y'all this morning. So let me tell you, offense is hurt that never found its healing. This is why it's heavy. This is why it has become a weight. Because we're holding on to something that we were been supposed to release. And let me tell you why offense is so dangerous. Ooh, offense is so dangerous because it feels justified, right? You feel justified in walking around with this offense. Because you say things like, I was hurt, I was wronged, I was disappointed. So your offense feels earned. It's like, okay, I earned the right to feel this way. I earned the right to carry this. I earned the right to start acting like this. But here is what we often don't realize. Offense doesn't imprison the other person, it imprisons you. So, yes, they wronged you. Yes, they betrayed you. Yes, they may have walked away. Yes, they may have done this, that, and the third. Yes, they may have done all these things. But what we don't understand is it's not the other person that's imprisoned, it's us. Because offense, it drains your peace. Yep. It distorts your perspective. It hardens your heart. Sorry, y'all, my alarm be doing it. It hardens your heart and it steals your joy. Notice all the things that it's doing to you and not the other person. So offense doesn't imprison the other person, it imprisons you because now your peace is drained. Now your perspective is distorted. Now your heart is hardened. And now you have no joy. Your joy is completed. And over time, it becomes emotional weight you were never meant to carry. And now we're wondering why we're dealing with church hurt, emotional weight. Proverbs 19:11, it tells us sensible people control their temper. They earn respect by overlooking wrongs. Let me say this again. Proverbs 19:11. Sensible people control their temper. Sensible people control their temper. This is the Bible, not me. They earn respect by overlooking wrong. And let me tell you something, overlooking doesn't mean denying the pain of what happened. Good morning. Overlooking doesn't mean you're denying the pain of what happened to you. It means you're refusing to let the pain rule your life. Take a deep breath. So it's not saying that because you're overlooking that you're denying what happened to you, how it happened to you. What it means is that you are refusing to let this pain rule your life. You are refusing to give somebody else that much control over how you live the rest of your life. Yeah, yeah. And let me tell you something. When we do this, when we operate in offense, we got to understand that this offense now becomes a distraction. And you can fully function the way God has a function because you have this big thing called offense distracting you. And offense distracts you by replaying conversations in your mind. Yep, you keep replaying that conversation. You keep replaying that interaction. It's constantly on your mind. It's consuming your energy. You are imagining what you wish you had said. You're rehearsing the hurt that happened to you repeatedly. So you're constantly putting yourself back in that situation. You're expecting future hurt from new people. They haven't even gotten to fully know you yet, and you're already expecting to be hurt by them. You are building emotional walls for protection. So now you got all these walls up, and suddenly you're guarded, distrustful, and you are emotionally unavailable. And it's not because you want to be that way, because I really believe in our heart of hearts, we don't want to be that way. It's because offense has now begun to build walls around our hearts. And unhealed hurt turns into guarded living. Now you're guarded in everything that you do. Unhealed hurt turns into guarded living. And then you fall into something called the offense trap. You fall into something that's called an offense trap. So now offense is whispering in your ear. And you begin to say things like, I'll never let that happen again. So what we begin doing, we begin protecting ourselves, right? But we got to be careful. We got to be careful of that because protection can become isolation. And isolation becomes loneliness. And loneliness becomes emotional distance. We talked about that loneliness thing yesterday. Ooh, offense can cause you to forfeit blessings because it fuels your pride. Yes, Yanni, come on. Come on. Come on. Ashley says, I do this and it's so hard. Listen, I get it. Come on, we're talking about it today. We're talking about it. Because the offense trap, it tries to make you feel like you're protecting yourself when all you're doing is isolating. And then your isolation becomes loneliness, and your loneliness becomes emotional distance. Now we're dealing with not just the distraction of offense, but the distraction of emotional instability. And often, sometimes, offense promises protection, but it delivers isolation. Because what offense costs you, your offense, being offended costs you your peace. It costs you emotional freedom. It costs you healthy relationships. It even can cost you joy and spiritual growth, a lack of spiritual growth. Because holding on to offense keep you connected to the pain. When you hold on to being offended, when you hold on to the offense, it keeps you connected to your pain. So let's go a little deeper. Because when I begin to think about this, I was like, okay, um, we talked about releasing offense. Some women worry that if they release the offense, then they'll become naive. They'll become vulnerable. They'll become unaware. But let me help you with this, because releasing offense does not remove your wisdom. It strengthens your discernment. And I feel like if this is going to be a season, I think I gotta plug up my laptop. But if this is going to be a season where we fully operate in divine focus, we have to have a level of discernment so that we can see what we can't see with our natural eye. Discernment is how you see spiritually. And if you're going to be divinely focused, if you're going to have clarity, if you're going to eliminate the distractions in your life, you got to be able to discern things that you can't necessarily see with the natural eye. So you got to understand that releasing offense does not remove wisdom. It strengthens your discernment. And there is a difference. Hold up, y'all. Because I don't want to be distracted by this low battery on my laptop. So let me help you with that. Releasing offense does not remove your wisdom. It strengthens your discernment. And there is a difference, because offense is emotional, but discernment is spiritual. Come on. Offense is emotional and discernment is spiritual. Offense reacts, but discernment, it recognizes. Come on, we're going to talk about the differences. Come on. There we go. So let me tell you the difference. Offense is emotional, discernment is spiritual. Offense reacts, and discernment recognizes. Offense, on one hand, it assumes, right? Offense, on one hand, it assumes, but discernment, it observes. And the enemy, let me tell you this, he's so cunning. But the enemy wants us offended because it keeps us emotional and not discerning. The enemy wants us offended because it keeps us emotional and not discerning. And when you stay offended, your emotions stay loud. And when emotions are loud, clarity becomes quiet. Now we're walking around without being able to see. Come on, and we're not focused because we're distracted by the noise. But when you walk in discernment, you begin to sense what is present beneath the surface before words are even spoken. Let me tell you, when you walk in discernment, in real discernment, and you're not walking around in offense, but when you walk around in discernment, you begin to sense what is present beneath the surface before words are even spoken. You begin to see even before they say. You sense and you know something is going on before anybody can even say anything. You notice a shift in somebody's tone. You sense tension in the room. You recognize patterns in people's behavior. You become aware without being reactive. Let me tell you, when you operate in discernment, you notice things. You notice how people's behavior shift towards you. You notice that they're not as hey and talkative and nice as they used to be. You begin to pick up on the tension in the room. Now you walk in, things shift. You recognize the patterns in their behavior. Before they would stop and speak to you, now they barely even opening their mouths. You recognize. You become aware, but you don't become reactive. Let me help us. As holistic women, as women with divine focus, as women with spiritual maturity, what you got to understand is that discernment is not suspicion. We're not just walking around suspicious of everything and everybody. That's not what discernment is. Discernment is awareness guided by wisdom. It's not suspicion. It's not walking around just being suspicious. This is awareness that's guided by wisdom. Discernment gives awareness, and offense creates assumption. You don't want to assume the worst. Sometimes I give people the benefit of the doubt too much. But I'm not walking around just assuming, because I have a level of discernment that makes me aware without assuming. So discernment will give you awareness. But when you are assuming, that means you're operating from offense. And discernment does not mean assuming the worst about people. It means that you are recognizing what is present and responding with wisdom instead of reacting from hurt. So discernment allows you to react from wisdom, to recognize. So we gotta be aware. We gotta discern. We're not assuming the worst, but we are recognizing what is present and responding with wisdom instead of reacting from hurt. Because spiritual maturity is not reacting quickly, it is responding wisely. So when you are offended, think about this. When you are offended, you assume, you react, you replay, you harden your heart. But when you are discerning, you notice things, you stay calm, you pray, you respond with wisdom. Because discernment protects your peace, but offense disrupts it. Discernment protects your peace, but disrupts it. And some of us as women, we feel like that we need to stay guarded in order to stay protected, right? We think that we have to stay beyond the walls that we have built in our life, and we got to stay beyond the walls so that we can be protected. We feel like if we're guarded, we protect it. But it is the offense in our lives that builds those walls, and discernment builds wisdom. Offense builds walls, discernment builds wisdom. Because walls isolate, but wisdom protects. And we don't want to be in a place of isolation. When we build walls, not only do we keep the things that we feel like we're protecting ourselves from out, we keep the things that God is sending out. And we're unaware of the help that He is sending to us in our moments of disparity. Because God is not calling for us to live guarded. He's calling for us to live guided. He wants us to be guided by wisdom and not guarded by the walls that we have created. So it's important for us to understand how offense keeps us from forgiveness. And we think just because we forgive that we got to reconcile. Let me help you with that. Let me bring clarity to what forgiveness is. Forgiveness does not mean what happened was acceptable. It does not mean that you must allow access to the person who even that you are, that you need to forgive. It doesn't mean that you have to allow access to them again in your life. It means it doesn't mean, I'm sorry, that you have to trust them immediately. But what forgiveness means is that you release the weight. You release the weight of bondage that thing has over your life. Because what we got to understand about when you reconcile with something, that requires mutual healing, right? But forgiveness requires only your freedom. I'm not saying that you got to reconcile, because when you reconcile, that means that's a mutual thing. That means that two parties have to agree. But that's not what forgiveness is. And I'm saying, in order for you to walk around and eliminate offense, you got to forgive. And forgiveness requires only your freedom. That means only you got to come into agreement and say, you know what? Forgiveness is going to free me even when nothing else changes or nobody else changes. Good morning. Forgiveness frees you when other things never change, when other people never change. Forgiveness is for you. And I know sometimes it feels like letting go can feel like letting them get away with it. But forgiveness is not saying it didn't matter. It's saying that it will not control me anymore. Mm. I'm not saying because I'm forgiving you that it didn't matter. What I am saying is it's not going to control me no more. So forgiveness is choosing freedom over fairness. Life ain't fair, but I want to be free. Forgiveness is choosing freedom over fairness. We got to let God handle justice. We got to let God get our lick back. We got to let vengeance be God's. And we just got to protect our peace. Let God handle justice. You protect your peace. You got to tell yourself, I'm ready to release. I am ready to release. No shame, just honesty. I'm not walking around with this offense no more. You got to tell yourself those things. You got to ask yourself, like, who am I still offended by? What hurt have I been replaying repeatedly in my life? What pain have I carried longer than necessary? Then you got to pray about that thing. You got to ask God to release that weight and heal what's still hurting you. You don't even have to feel it fully yet. Your release begins with your decision. You got to decide that thing first. Ephesians 4:31-32, it tells us to get rid of all bitterness. Get rid of all bitterness, all rage, all anger. Instead, be kind to each other, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, because bitterness keeps wounds open and forgiveness allows healing. So you got to be healed. You got to ask God to heal your heart, to restore your peace, and to free you from whatever you've been holding. We got to release the offense, release bitterness, and you got to refuse to carry what and who has hurt you. Come on, see, honestly, offense placed blinders on the vision. What once was clear is now distorted by the need to feel protected. So we got to understand this thing. Offense is hurt that never found its healing, right? It's not imprisoning the other party, it's imprisoning you. And we think that walking around in offense is going to promise protection, but what it's delivering is isolation, and you are isolated beyond belief. You are isolating yourself beyond your walls, and you are not being protected by the wisdom. And what I want you to understand is that offense keeps you emotional, but discernment keeps you aligned. Instead of getting clarity, we're dealing with chaos in our minds. Instead of getting clarity, and I told you that some of us are walking around offended by things that never truly happened. It's people giving their perspective. They're whispering gossip in your ear. They're telling you things that they only have a distorted view on. So we're believing mishaps and misunderstandings without getting clarity, without having a conversation. So we walk around with this weight, with this chip on our shoulder, and we don't even realize that very people that can help us, we're walking around with this idea of hurt and this idea of offense, and they don't even know what they did to you. And the enemy is like, got him. And he wants us to stay there. He wants us to be isolated. He wants us to be emotional so that we don't be discerning. But day 17, it tells us something. It tells us that God did not call us to live guarded. He called us to live guided. So my prayer is that he guides us in this moment and helps us not to walk around in offense, but to walk around in freedom. Let people think whatever. We got to stop trying to fight that battle. Let them think whatever. Let them say whatever. And you keep doing and being who God has called you to do and be. We're not going to let this control us. We're not going to allow their behavior to change how we feel. We still going to love. We still going to speak. And I tell people, you're not getting over on me. I love God. I love people. My good heart does not change because of your bad behavior. So we got to let go of that heaviness. Let go of what we're still holding on to. The comments, the betrayal, the disappearances, the misunderstandings, everything. And instead of processing it, instead of carrying it, we're going to process it and we're going to pursue purpose. It's 6:35. I gotta let y'all go. But this is also not just on our group page. This is on the Wholelistic Women main page. So this is one of the lives that you can share. So we have a Wholelistic Women private group and we have a Wholelistic Women main page. If you go on the main page, you can share today's live, because I believe that there are some women out there who are plagued by hurt, who are plagued by being offended, and they don't understand that they have an opportunity to be free. We are not allowing offense to be a distraction any longer. So my prayer is that today we find freedom. I love y'all. I pray that today be the most amazing day. Day 18 begins tomorrow. Set those alarms, y'all. 6 a.m. Day 18. I love y'all. I hope y'all have a good day. Don't allow offense to win today. Don't allow your offense to win today. We're walking in freedom. Have a good day. Love y'all. Talk to you soon. Take care.